introduce my beautiful wife. She's the most mature wife over there. My wife, Tara. Everybody keeps saying what a great day it was and everything. You know, I've known this guy a long time. Let me tell you something. I want to hear it from y'all. What about the job Jimbo did this year? Without Jimbo, that didn't happen. So there's just not anybody can jump up there and do it. And he didn't pay me to say that, even though he ought to. But I don't think anybody really realizes until you stop and think about the man he followed and the shoes that he stepped in. And by then, he walked them pretty good, I think. Of course, all those guys are a little bit mature too. Went to the bathroom. Jim Smith was in there. He said, "I didn't know you signed the baseball team." I said, "Well, we got 9 of them, so I guess we read the lineup out tonight." So, but our first offensive line was Jake Fairclough, and I really wanted Jake. The coach sent us film in on him. And Jake was playing in North Dakota. Now, I've been to Fargo, North Dakota 6 times, and it was 17 below zero the last time I was up there. So you know I really wanted this kid. So, you know, he's a heck of a young man. He's already in school. Vic says I've told him what he has to do. He wants to be an All-American like Rodney Hudson was. And he's done everything and above and beyond what we've asked him to do and even more. He's a good football player, and he's probably even a better person. So I'm really excited about him, and hopefully he'll make a quick addition to us right there. He's about 6'4", about 318 right now. So, you know, he's a real athletic kid. He's got a lot of power, got a lot of explosion. He was the #1 junior college lineman in the country and the #4 junior college player rated overall. So Jake Fairclough, I think, will be one of those names that they'll be calling out in a couple of years, hopefully. The next young man, starting Lovelady, I had him in camp and went down, and he had a lot of offers. I think Troy State was the first one he had, and but there was something about this kid. Coach Fisher met him, and I met him, and I watched him. We watched him play in high school. He played left tackle, and we projected him as a center. He's got great feet. He's very intelligent, smart kid. Got a little wit about him. He's got a little dry sense of humor. But I really like him, and we worked him at center some this summer in camp. And I think he's going to really be a good football player for us. He's on a winning team. He's got an attitude about him, and he's just one of those guys that you know, you can't have all 5 stars. I don't think. I mean, you got to have some of that cement and the concrete. And I think he's one of these guys that, you know, that's going to make you a good football player. It reminds me a lot about Ryan McMahon. So, we really like Sterling Lovelady. The next guy is Trey Pettis. I've had Trey in camp since we've gotten here. He's been here 4 straight years of football camp. And, you know, he's a big kid. He loves Florida State. He was the first guy that called and committed to Coach Fisher. The day he got the job, the day Jimbo got the job, he called and committed. And I think his grandparents live here in Tallahassee. He's a big old kid. He's quick. He's really going to be a pretty good football player. I'm really excited about Trey. He's played center. I've never had a 6'6", 300-pound center, but we'll try it this spring and see if it works. And if it don't, then I know he can play guard or tackle. So his dad moved him out to tackle this fall, and he did a real good job. He played in the, I keep calling it the Armor All game, but I guess it's the Under Armour game. So, yeah, it's one of them games, I don't know. The next guy is Jordan Prestwood. Jordan's also in school right now. Trey's in school, Lovelady's in school, Prestwood's in school. Prestwood was a tight end, and they moved him to the offensive line his senior year. And, you know, I think he's just now figuring it out. He was committed to Notre Dame and then decided that it was too far away and wanted to stay here closer to home. And, you know, we battled Florida on him there for a couple of weeks, and we're lucky enough to get him. And he's in school right now, and Vic's got him in the weight room. Really an athletic kid. Got real quick feet, real good body quickness, got good bend. And, you know, he's one of those guys that we'll just keep working with him and get him bigger and stronger. And, hopefully, you know, going to end up a pretty good football. Could play probably any position across the offensive line. Could probably play tackle. Well, he played tackle and guard. He played whichever way the play was going. They moved him around, and just watching him move around, he could probably go in there and play center if he had to. So Jordan's one of them athletic guys that I think is going to be real good. Reuben Carter is the guy that Coach Coley, his high school coach, brought him up to camp and said, "I've got a guy here for you I want you to look at." And we took him out there one day in camp, and really, Reuben kind of jumped out at me a little bit. I mean, he just did some things that, did I stop that camera? Oh, okay. Maybe it's hooked on this microphone here. I didn't take audio visual aids class either. I didn't take any classes. I stayed out the Cove Barbecue Club all the time. I like to know anybody else went through their junior and senior year and didn't buy a book. But I guess we're having to live here a little bit. I met Ken Hudson back up here to help me.
Hudson, you got a joke?
No, I won't sing any George Jones. But you talk about Reuben. Reuben came to camp, and we had him out there, and we worked him a little bit on pass set. He played center. I moved him out there. I always like to try and see if every kid can play tackle. If a guy can play tackle, I know he can go inside. Not everybody can go out and play tackle. You have to be a man to stand out on the flanks and play on the flanks. So we did a couple pass sets with him. And what I like most about this kid, when I talked to him, he was eating up every word. I mean, he wasn't standing out. He was listening on every word I said, and did exactly what I coached him to do, and started dominating some pass rushes out there and things. And I went over and sat down and talked to him. Had one of those heart-to-hearts that I like to have with him. Because I believe you need to tell them just what they're getting into. And you know, and he wanted that. He wanted to be good. He wanted to be a part of Florida State. And so we went down, and Coach Coley did a great job with him. He's got a great mom and dad, great family, and we ended up taking Reuben Carter. And he's probably a little bit bigger than 285 right now. I'd say he's close to 3 bills, 295, but he's working in really good shape. Are we down? Keep going. All right. The next line we got is Bobby Hart. Coach Grant did a great job recruiting him down to St. Thomas Aquinas. Bobby's about what I made on the ACT. He's 16 right now. That's the second time. But Bobby is one of the most talented young men that we've got. He's, you know, and really this past season, talking to Coach Smith down there and stuff, has really matured up for his age. He'll turn 17 next August. And we went and watched Bobby play in the championship game, and really a talented kid. Another guy who could play left tackle, could play guard, and and I'm not so sure he couldn't even move inside and play center if he had to. So, you know, that's a plus for a kid, you know, for his future later on when he goes to the NFL or whatever, because the more positions you can play, the more valuable it becomes to him. And he's ranked by rivals, all that stuff, you know, it's not written in big enough print right here for me to really read it. So Bob, I forgot about me having to read this stuff here. But, now the next guy, Josue Matias. And I tell you what, I love this kid, and I'm really excited about him. When he came in on his official visit, we were practicing for the bowl game, and when he walked out there, some of my players thought he was a former Florida State player that had played there before. That's what he looks like. I mean, he is a grown man. And he was committed to another school. Coach Coley and I got on a private plane, flew up there Saturday evening, got in there about 7 o'clock. He has an apartment there in New Jersey. We were up in the apartment. Now, I was the only one of 5, 6 people in there. I was the only one that couldn't speak Spanish. But when I left, I could. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve, diez. James did a great job of recruiting this kid. He did a great job, and the dad speaks no English. And one little funny thing, sitting there, Jose's sitting there, and his dad, when he gets excited, he looked like Ricky Ricardo. I mean, them hands are flying right outside. So I leaned over to Jose and I said, if we tie your dad's hands together, he couldn't talk. Jose, he's laughing, then he tells his brother, and everybody starts laughing. Then the dad wants to know what I said. They tell the dad. It was a pretty neat thing. That's the only communication me and the dad had all night. But Josue, was really a talented guy. He's a very strong guy. He had a knee right before the season started, and you know, everybody kind of holding on hold with this kid, and then when it turned loose, it was Wisconsin, us, Miami, Florida, everybody was after the boy. And our players, I think this is one of the kids that Jimbo was talking about too, that our players, especially our offensive line group with these offensive line kids, they did a great job to these guys, and that was the selling point with me, was the segment we have and the kids we got in that segment and stuff. So I really expected a lot of great things from Josue, and I think he'll be really a good football player. I asked his dad what his name was. He said Jose, and I said, well, what's your son's name? So we got Jose, and Josue. So I could pretty much keep that on track right there. So great family, good people. And they wanted him in Florida State, and that's what I like about them. The next guy is Trey Jackson, and DJ Elliott went through there when this kid was the day he got there was a new coach. That was his first day there, and he said, well, I got a big old kid, but I don't know anything about him. And so just luckily enough, DJ went back by there, and the kid had committed to a school, but he wasn't real set on that, really wasn't feeling real comfortable with his commitment, and so he wanted to open it up a little bit. Well, he opened it up about a week and a half ago, and got offers from us, Miami, Georgia, and Alabama. So and Jimbo and I got on the plane real early one morning. That's what we do, West Virginia boys. We took off early, and we got there before everybody else did. We got the first visit. So we got in there and got him to come in last weekend. He had one visit for 4 schools, and we got it. We got him to come down here, and we're going to have to break Odell's helmet out of retirement because that's the only one that's got even a chance to get on this kid's head. He's got a helmet on him. Little weight, so I love you, Odell. But
excuse me, sir.
But when you watch this kid on film, he is something. he's something special. I think this guy has NFL written all over him. And I'm really excited about him, and he's even a better kid. And he's from up here in Jessup, Georgia. And, you know, we're really excited about him. And the last guy we have is Austin Barron. And I'm one of those guys, you know, I've been in the business long enough that, you know, when I went down to St. Thomas, there wasn't a whole lot of people recruiting Andrew Datko. I think FIU and somebody else he had only offers. We offered him, I think they made him a 2-star recruit. Now he's going to be an NFL draft pick. So I don't buy everything out. I think these services are good to the point, but you know, George Smith pulled me aside and said, I'm going to tell you something. He said, everybody's missing the boat on this center I got. He said, and you know, George has been in this thing a long time and seen quite a few football players. And so I started watching this kid, and he came up to camp, spent 3 days in camp, and very, very intelligent, very quick, very smart kid. Third baseman on the baseball team at 6'2", 285. You know, he's got a good stick. He can hit the ball. He's got high hand-eye coordination things. So, the more I watched him, I always told Jim, I said, I really like this kid. There's something about him. Things. So, you know, luckily I got a head coach that doesn't care who's recruiting him sometimes either. So we took the kid, and I think he's going to really be one of those guys that's going to be like Ryan McMahon was, you know. And some of those guys that will just come in here and play 4 years and help us win a lot of football games and be a super football player for us and stuff. So that's your offensive line. And,